Hey everybody, this is Greg Gossett from Gossett Trading and Mentoring Live, and today is Monday, March 22nd, 2021. We're on the first day of the new trading week, and we are in the final hour of the current trading day. The final hour of the day is my favorite time, preferred time, to make the majority of my buying and selling decisions, because at the end of the day, the large financial institutions come in. They take control of the price away from the day traders and the algorithms. They're dealing with the most money. That is why they can take the price control away from the day traders and the algorithms. And they have very smart people. They have the best technology. They have the best information. And I consider following and basing my buying and selling decisions at the end of the day based upon the large financial institutions as a long-term edge in my trading. So thank you all for coming today. It's always nice to see everyone. I appreciate you spending your time here, investing your time here with me during this last hour of the market. And I hope by doing so that it is helping to improve your trading and your investing. So currently, the Dow is up 170 points, up 0.52%, so slightly over 0.5%. NASDAQ's having a big day, up 237 points, up 1.79% on the day so far, so big day in the NAS. And the S&P is up 41 points, up 1.05%. So here is the plan for today, everyone. First of all, we are going to run the U.S. legal disclaimer. Secondly, we're going to come back. We're going to take a look at my current positions, talk about when I bought them, why I bought them, and how I'm going to manage them going forward. I did have just one day trade today on Apple earlier in the day. I've been watching all day. I just didn't really find anything. Plus, I had some people over, and so I was a little distracted. So that's okay. Had a real good trade on Apple. I'll share that with you. After that, we're going to go over to the board. My current students have some of their positions up there. We're going to go over there. We're going to take a look and see how those are doing. I see a little green. A little red, more green than red. So that's good. So we'll cruise on over there and we'll see where they entered and what's going on with those positions. After that, I'm going to talk a little bit about trader psychology, very important part of trading, the most important part of trading in my humble opinion. Get away from the charts, technicals for a minute, and talk a little bit about what's important, which is your mind, what's in between your ears. For those of you who have been trading for a while, you know just how important managing your emotions, how important it is, and how destructive it can be if you lose control of your emotions and make erratic and impulsive decisions. So hopefully by me going over this every day, it's going to help you realize how important that is, and maybe one day you'll have that aha moment and you'll fully understand. That's my hope anyway. After that, I have gone down through my watch list. I have gone down through the results of Kamal's scanner. I have 3 requirements whenever I'm looking to enter a new trade. The first requirement is I need to have a combination or confluence of indicators lining up on multiple time frames. I look at each indicator like MACD, ATR channels, Keltner channels, same thing, moving averages, V1, V2 entries. I look at these indicators and triggers as groups of buyers coming in to the market. And the more groups of buyers, the better chance you have to have a profitable trade. Kind of makes sense when you think about it, right? But I like to see confluence or combination of indicators on multiple time frames, because some people just trade the 5-minute bar. Some people just trade the daily bars. Some people, if you can believe it or not, just trade the monthly bars and the weekly bars, right? I like to trade all of them, but if I can get triggers happening on multiple time frames on the same stock at the same price, in my opinion, it dramatically increases the chances of having a profitable trade. So that's why confluence combination of indicators. Number 2, good risk to reward ratio. You have to be able to make more to the upside than you are losing to the downside. It's called an asymmetrical risk, or an asymmetrical risk trade. That way you don't even have to win 50% of the time. You can win 30% of the time. I was going through with one of my students this weekend, and we were looking at ETF replay, And, some of the best systems are the ones where the trader only wins 30% of the time and he loses or she loses 30% of the time. But the times that they win, there's a huge factor, 4 to 1, 5 to 1, 10 to 1. So don't think you have to have a high winning percentage to be a profitable trader. You just need to have big wins and small losses. So that's why you need to look for a good combination or confluence of indicator. And then lastly, just keep these things in mind. Position size correctly based upon the current volatility of the market. Do not have too many correlated positions. Watch your account heat. In other words, how much of your total capital do you have at risk at any one time? Is it a clean trade? Is it a good risk to reward ratio? Do you know where your emergency stop is? Do you know where your end of day stop is? How are you going to take partial profits? Where are overhead resistance levels that you have to be aware of, right? You have to have a full plan, everybody. You have to have a plan so that regardless of what the market does, you know what you're going to do. All right, so those are my 3 requirements. I do have quite a few end of day possibilities today, candidates. So as we get closer to the end of the day, I will go through each one. We'll look at multiple time frames. We'll look at triggers and risk to reward ratios. And if I find something that meets all my criteria at the end of the day, I will go ahead and purchase it right before the market closes. And then after the market closes, if you have any questions for me, if you need any clarification on anything I discussed, I would be very happy to help you with that and try to explain and clarify to you. If you have any stock symbols that you would like me to look at before the close of the market, put them in the live stream chat and I will do my best to get to them, and I will give you my humble opinion, and I will give you an opinion based upon how I trade. Keep in mind, just because I say I like something or I don't like something doesn't mean that's the right decision for you, right? You may have a different approach. So all I can do is kind of discuss it in the context of how I view my trading. And then lastly, if any of my students that have positions up on the board, if you have any additions or subtractions today that you would like me to get updated, I'm happy to do that. Please just wait till the end of the day, so that I'm done teaching, I'm done trading, markets close, pressure's off, and then we'll take as much time as we need to get those all updated, okay? So I'm gonna run the US legal disclaimer. I'll be back in about 40 seconds. Thank you. This video or live broadcast, like all instructional materials produced by Gossett Trading and Mentoring LLC, is created and published for informational and educational purposes only. Please carefully read and or listen to the U.S. government required disclaimer before watching this video or live stream broadcast. The video link and disclaimer text are located in the description section of this video or live broadcast, here and here. Thank you so much. All right, let's take a look and see who is here today. Lova74 is here. Hi, everyone. Hello, Lova. Good to see you. Dan says, hello, mixed trading artist and Gossets. Nice. An MTA instead of MMA. We're mixed trading artist. That's actually really good, Dan. Are you in the MMA? No, I'm in the MTA. Oh, I've never heard of that. Yeah, I'm a mixed trading artist. I like it. Hey, Kamal, good to see you, bud. Good chatting with you earlier today. Thank you for everything that you do for this channel, my friend. Steve Burns, same goes for you. Thank you for everything that you do for this channel. It's always nice to see you, Steve. Always an honor and a privilege. Steve says, hello, everyone. This market has been a range-bound blender. Yeah, Kamal mentioned earlier, is this a bull trap? Man, it very well could be. I have some ideas on why that might be the case. I'll discuss those with you in a little later. Johan is here. Hello, Captain. Good to see you, my friend. Hope you're having a good day, good evening in Hong Kong. Miko25. Hello, Mr. Miko. Good to see you, sir. Hope you are doing well. And the family, Frank says, hello, Greg and group. Hello, Frank. Good to see you, and thank you, Frank, for everything that you do for this channel with your wonderful poems. Appreciate that. Danny Messi is here. Good to see you. Thoughts on TKAT as a short? Fundamentals say they should be trading at $3 to $5, getting NFT hype, even though they are not in that space yet. Well, my first thought on that would be, I understand that fundamentals matter in the long run. Water always flows down to a level, and fundamentals in the long run always win out. They're a slave. Stocks are ultimately a slave to earnings. Would I short this here? No, I would not. I would not. I mean, this is so strong. We have the price going up on less volume than before. That is a little bearish to me, but these groups have gotten a hold of these stocks and they're just running it up. I mean, no, there's really no, it's a 93 RSI, Steve. And Kamal, can you imagine that? A 93 RSI? Wow. I just think you're trying to catch a rising knife here. This could, remember what happened with GameStop, right? I would be very, very extremely careful if you were to short this. I hesitate to even say it. If somebody said you had to short this, I'd say, okay, I'll short one share. That's it. But I would wait until we have a pullback. Then we have a rally that makes a lower high, and then look for a V1 or a V2 to the downside. These higher high things, almost always that first dip is bought, and then it goes right back up. I would wait for it to have the dip. I'd wait for it to rally off of that dip and then make a lower high. A lower high always has a lot more potential of having a large leg down. That first one where you're just stabbing it, trying to grab this thing at the very top, you might, but very likely that first dip will be immediately bought and it will feel frustrating. I've done it a lot of times. So that's my take, Danny. Steve says Monster has a 520 crossover today on a big candle. Yep, that is on my watch list today, Steve. So we will definitely look at that, but thank you. David says, hi, Gregorian traders. Hello, David. Good to see you, sir. Timothy is here. Hello, my friend. Good to see you. Good chatting with you earlier. Frank has a poem for us. All right. Let us take a look at this poem. I don't know what it is, but it's going to be good because it's a poem from Frank, right? That's just science. Okay. Sometimes the market feels like a maze. We have to find our path through its haze. Fear not. Wherever it takes us, we'll be okay, because progress is measured by the process and plans that light our way. Holy smokes. Could we get an amen on that? That's so good, Frank. Sometimes the market feels like a maze. We have to find our path through its haze. Fear not. Wherever it takes us, we'll be okay, because progress is measured by the process and plans that light our way. I could do 15 minutes on every single one of Frank's poems in the psychology section. Wow. Can we get some thumbs up and some hand claps for that? Unreal. Thank you, Frank. Dan says, Beatnik snaps to Frank. Oh, yeah. Beatnik snaps. Nice. Steve says, 93 RSI is one of the highest I've ever seen. I know. That's why I pointed it out. I was like, wait, are my charts wrong? Unreal. You are welcome, Danny. Gary says TKT may be hard to borrow shares for a short. That is also true. To go short, you have to borrow shares. Yep. That is true. And it may be difficult to find them, but I would be careful. Danny. And if it comes down, you're going to go, oh, I knew I should have. But what about if it has another, 40% up bar tomorrow? It's up 67% today. They could run this thing, squeeze this thing. What about if it only goes up 30%? You want to get dinged up 30%? If you short this, put yourself in a conservative position size and put yourself in a hard ass stop. But I would not recommend shorting this, as it's down 10% in the last 3 minutes. Anyway, I know I'm giving you the right advice. Okay. Well, let's get started. Okay, so look, I talked about whether this can be a bear trap or not. Okay, here are bonds, TLT. We know that the market has been going down as the price of bonds has been going down, because when the price of bonds go down, the interest rates go up. That trickles through the economy, mortgages, credit lines, credit cards, and it hurts companies' bottom line. Well, now we're rallying. Okay, that's good. That means that the price of bonds are going down. That is most likely why we are having the rally in the NASDAQ, because the NASDAQ consists mainly of growth stocks. So what's my point? Well, my point here is that we have had a pretty significant rally off the bottom. It doesn't mean it can't keep going, obviously. But when I look at this, we make a low, we make another low, we make another low. If bonds do reverse, and who knows, maybe they'll reverse at the 10 EMA, maybe they'll reverse at the -1, maybe they'll reverse at the 50. But we're coming from a lower low. So usually lower lows have bounces of 2, 3, 4, 5 days maybe, and then very often they pull back. I'm not saying that this can't go higher. It very well may go higher. But when I look at this chart, my gut tells me, and just my experience tells me, more likely than not, we may come back, test this bottom, or have a bit of a pullback. If we have a bit of a pullback on bonds, most likely we will have a pullback on the NASDAQ. And then if you look at the NASDAQ in the context of where it's at, okay, we're at 5175 right now. We have the 50 SMA above us. It doesn't mean it can't continue to go up. And there might be a crossover here on the Qs. No, there's not. It's lower than that. So when I look at the technicals on the Qs, being at a very likely spot that we're minimum going to go sideways or go down. We could go up. I could be wrong. And then I look over at bonds and I look at this bounce off the bottom. That's what concerns me. How long-lived this NASDAQ rally can be. I could be totally wrong, but these are my thoughts that I want to share with you. Okay, current positions. Lilia and I took QS back here at 58.41 with the 520 cross. Went sideways, had a big move up, took some profits. Down. I continued to keep this because it kept bouncing off moving averages. It kept holding the 50 RSI. It's up nicely today. It's up 7.75% today. I did hit one profit target already today at 62.52. Second profit target's up here at 65.70. I don't know whether or not I'll hit it or not, but nicely up on the day, nicely up on the trade. It is up 9.12% from entry based upon that 520 cross on QS. SPY. Okay, well, I missed most of the SPY move today, but it still made money, so should be happy with that. I bought this Friday at the open at at the close at 389.48. Gapped open this morning 390.01. Not a big gain, but a gain nonetheless. Obviously, if I would have kept it, I would have done better, but that's okay. That's not part of the process. That's not part of the rules. Anyway, little overnight gap up, positive, profitable. Of course, I will buy this today at the close, market on close order. I will hold it overnight. I will take the overnight risk. I will sell it first thing in the morning and ideally have a nice gap, or maybe it gaps down. I don't know. I don't care from day to day on this approach. I really just care about how it does in the long run. And ever since I've been trading it, it has made money. Square. All right. So Frank, Gary, and I bought Square back here at 241.90 with a 1050 EMA crossover. Initially went up, took some profits, came back down here, took some more profits. I did get out of half of my position here. I took it with the 1050 EMA crossover. The price closed below both the 10 and the 50. That was a warning sign to me to take off half of my position. I did. I still have half my position. It is up 1.15% today, but it looks like the 10 is going to close under the 50. The 10 is 233.06. The 50 is 233.40. So that will be the final signal for me to just exit the trade. So this will end up being a losing trade, but that's how it goes. And I will be selling this today unless the 10 EMA stays above the 50, but I find that hard to believe that that will happen today. So I will be exiting Square and taking a loss. TMO. All right, Lilia and I also took TMO back here on the 18th of March at 446.61. It was a nice V1, close back into the value zone, intraday rejection of the 200. So rejected the -1 ATR channel, intraday rejection of the 200, plus a V1, plus a false breakout to the downside from this low over here. Friday didn't do much, went up and then came back down a little bit, but nice day today, up 2.08% today. I did hit one profit target already at 450.97 and got close to the second profit target, but the day's not over, so who knows, maybe it will still get there. But so far this trade is up 1.76%. Etsy. All right, so a bunch of us took Etsy. Let me see, there's Tracy. Oh, okay. So Steve, Tracy, Carlos, Frank, Gary, and myself, we did take Etsy with the 1050 SMA crossover. Let me take you over to the SMA crossover chart. You can see on Friday, the 10 SMA crossed over the 50 SMA. That was my trigger. I'll take you back to the regular chart here. It is up 1.71% today. No profit targets yet. Got close to this first one, but never quite got there. But the 1050 SMA is still in place. It is up 1.77%. So I see no reason to make any adjustments to this trade, and I will just continue to hold. All right. I did have a day trade earlier in the day on Apple. I took this on the 25-minute chart. I don't often trade the 25-minute chart, but I saw this close under. This was during the first 25 minutes of the day. Close under the 200, back over the 200. That was my entry. My stop was a close under the 200. I bought it, and then for the next 15 minutes, it went down. I was like, gosh darn it. But it rallied, kept above. So I bought it here at 121.61. I sold half at 122.28. Then we had another big bar up right at the third ATR channel. I sold another half at 122.76. So I got in at 121.61, sold half at 122.28, sold half at 122.76. So not too bad, yeah? Not too bad. And went higher, obviously, from there. But, you know, when I get it to the third ATR channel, I'm very happy to just lock in profits at that third ATR channel. All right. Let us take a look now at some of your positions. All right. So we have Tracy and we have Paxton, students of mine that bought Boyd Gaming all the way back here at 47.38, and what a nice run they've had. They sold half at 55.70. It is down 2.75% at 60.91, but so far really nice trade. I mean, this trade from entry to current price is up 22.23%. So let's give those two a hand. eBay has just been a perfect deep dip buy signal for Tim and Mamal. Tim and Mamal bought this with a rejection of the 200-day moving average, giving them very good risk to reward. They bought at 53.30. It is 60.53. It's up 1.29%. Congratulations to Tim and Mamal. It's up 12.12% on the trade. And that is how you do it, everybody. ARK. All right, David did buy a half a position on ARK, a higher low V1 in the value zone. He bought it at 122.40. It's 125.38. It's up 2.17% approximately on the trade. So very nice going there, David. Amazon, Gary has a quarter position of Amazon that he bought at approximately 31.34. David is in at 30.85.12. So it looks like Gary is a little bit down on the trade. Gary is a little bit up on the trade. This would be a valid signal to buy if it were to close back above the 200-day moving average. However, I am actually looking at Amazon to short today. See, we were above the 200 and then we pulled back away from it. Very often, if you fail and lose the 200-day moving average and you pull back away from it, very often it will go back up and test the 200. And if it fails there again, you might get a long move down. Do I know that's going to happen? No, I don't. But I do know that if I short Amazon here today with this rejection of the 200-day moving average, that if I'm wrong, I have a very good risk to reward ratio. I would cover my short if it closed above the 200-day and just be out of it. Now, I do have some long positions here. So, I factor these things into my head. I'm like, okay, I am long on tech. So if it does go up tomorrow, yes, I will lose some, but a good risk to reward ratio. But, possibly the losses will be covered on the long side. If I am correct on the short and it keeps going down there, I'll make money there, but I'll give back some on the long side. So that's kind of how I look at this. But the real reason I'm looking at this is that we moved down so far from the 200. We've had 2 strong days up. If you look at things in the market, very often you see cycles of 2 up days and then sideways, or 2 up days and then a move back. If you can go 3, that's really strong. And I think there's a candlestick pattern, 3 little soldiers maybe, because it's kind of difficult to get 3 up bars in a row. So I'm looking at 2 up bars, rejection of the 200, good risk to reward ratio if I'm wrong, and I'm kind of hedged and covered over here with the longs. Merck, all right. I think everyone is, Merck's, everyone's out of Merck. Okay. Light. Gary, what did Gary do? Gary, credit spreads 80.7750, expires April 16th. So what this means is as long as the price stays above $80, then Gary will make money. It's 85.76. It's up 2.69%. So his credit spreads are going his way today. I am sure he's up in the money on these at the moment. Rejection of the 200-day above, though. I want to point that out. BWA, Frank bought BWA at 47.12. He sold about half up here at 49.70, if I'm correct. And then it's kind of come back. It's coming back into the value zone. This is where I would be looking for some sideways motion in a V1, but it is down today. But Frank is up on the trade. It's down on the day, but Frank is still up on the trade, which is the most important part. NVAX. Oh, this is also Frank. This has been a long trade for Frank. Frank bought this all the way back here at $135. My gosh, huge rally. It more than doubled. He sold 90% up here, had a big move down again. Now we've had a nice rally. So Frank is definitely beautifully up on this trade because he sold 90% up here when it more than doubled. One of the biggest trades I've seen this year, if not the biggest. And it's up another 4.46% today for Frank on his runner. Okay, PKI. Kamal bought PKI with the V2, close back, deep dip buy, close back above the 200. MACD was green, which is good. He bought it at 126.60. It's 128.54. It's up 1.12% today, but it is up on the day and it is up on the trade. And lastly, we have MSTR, which is MicroStrategies, not to be confused with Monster Energy, because I do this all the time. But this was Steve Burns. Steve Burns bought this on Friday with a 520 EMA crossover. He bought it at 779.59. And this one's just reversed immediately. It's down 6.65% today. So down on the day and down on the trade. It looks like this 520 is probably going to uncross today as well. Yuvar is here. Good to see you, Yuvar. Hope you're doing well. Tracy is here. Hello, Trace. Good to see you. Please say hello to Paxton for me. Mamal is here. Nice to see you, Mamal. Gary says, Greg, my cost on Amazon is $30.95.25. I will be exiting today with a small gain in rejection of the 200. Oh, okay. Okay. I had you in at the wrong price then. Oh, you were in way lower. Okay. Excellent. Excellent, Gary. Okay, thank you for updating me on that for sure. Take a little look over here. Okay, so listen, before we start going through the end of day candidates, before we start looking for my 3 requirements, which quickly, confluence, combination of indicators lining up on multiple time frames, asymmetrical risk, at least 2 to 1, in other words, good risk to reward ratio. Number 3, keep in mind, account heat, adjust for volatility, make sure you have a clean trade, make sure you know exactly what you're doing, define entries, exits, profit targets, and ask yourself, do I really need this trade today? Do you really need it? Is it just out of habit, right? So we're going to start looking for those after we're done with the psychology section. But as you know, there are some of my favorite posters on Facebook and Twitter that talk about trader psychology, that have a very good understanding of it. And one of the best ones out there for sure is Trading Composure. He has a great channel. His posts are viewed widely around the world, I'm sure, and I always read when I see one of these. It's always worth your time. So he's Trading Composure, or at Trading Composure over on Twitter. What happens in the market is 100% out of your control. You are in charge of making the best decision you can make in the moment. You are also in charge of maintaining your composure. That's all the control you have, and it's plenty enough. Isn't that good? Let's break these down. What happens in the market is 100% out of your control. That is true. I was teaching this weekend, and I was telling my student, look, there are 2 things in your control, and that's it. 1, how many shares you're going to buy. That's why I'm big on position sizing based upon volatility. So that is in your control. And when you buy is also in your control. Other than that, just like Mark Douglas says, it's like a slot machine. You decide how many coins you're going to put in the slot machine. You do have control over that, but you do not have any control after that. You pull the handle, something's going to happen. The wheels are going to spin. You put the trade on, you figure out how many shares you're going to buy, you make your entry, you know the next day something's going to happen, but you do not know what. All you have control of then is, if it goes up, you're going to do this. If it goes down, you're going to do this. So, after you've put that trade on, it is completely 100% out of your control. You are in charge of making the best decisions you can at the moment. So make the best decisions you can by looking at multiple time frames, looking at confluences, combinations of indicators, and take my advice. Take the time to position size based upon the current volatility. That is making the best decisions. Or passing on the trade. That's a good decision possibly as well. You are also in charge of maintaining your composure. Well, this is what it really comes down to. Again, can you trade your plan? Can you follow your plan? Can you stick to your plan? That's what he's talking about. If you cannot do that, if you're not maintaining composure, then you're going to mess with your plan, and by messing with your plan, you're going to mess with the math, you're going to mess with the long-term edge in your approach. And last, that's all the control you have, and it's plenty enough. It's all you need, everybody. Position size correctly, combination, confluence of indicators, follow your plan. You're not going to win every trade, that is for sure, but it's enough to be profitable. So thank you, Trading Composure. This is always very helpful for me to read these posts, and I hope it was helpful for everyone else as well. Nigma, good to see you. Nigma says, I wouldn't short TKAT with all the noise about NFTs and personal opinion. Yeah, I 100% agree. It's just too strong. There's just too much hype. It's like a feeding frenzy. People are just running these. They could squeeze this up another 60%, 100%. I know it doesn't seem possible in regards to the fundamentals of the company, but that's why I'm not a fundamental trader. I trade what's going on, right? Now, I'm not trading the fundamentals because there can be a disconnect from those. Johan, good to see you, bud. AMD. Higher low close above the 200. looks pretty good in the value zone. MACD is positive. Close above the 200-day moving average, and most importantly, it closed back above the 200 after a higher low. This had a low. This made a lower low, closed above, but it came from a lower low. We came up, we pulled back. Now we have a higher low. See how this high is higher than this low? This is a higher low, closed back above the 200-day. MACD is green. That is always better than it being red. And it's a good risk to reward ratio. Yes, Johan, I like it. I like it a lot. You know, on the negative side, if we look over on the weekly, it did reject the -1 ATR channel above, but it's a close under, close back over the 200. It came from a higher low situation. It rejected the -1 ATR channel. MACD is green. Yeah, I would take that. I would take that all day long. But I don't know what's going to go up. But the structure of the trade, it's a clean trade. It's definitely a clean trade to me. Timothy Taylor says ORA has a V2. Believe it is just one over 30 RSI. All right, let's take a look. It's a V1. It's a V1, Tim, because today went under Friday's low. Yes, it's a bullish engulfing bar, under 30, over 30, looks good. It's a little chasey in my opinion. I don't like that we rejected the -1 ATR channel above. If it were me, I'm not telling you what to do because this thing could go skyrocketing up, but I just want to tell you, if it were me, here's today's big bar. Here is halfway of the bar. Tomorrow, if it comes down, very likely it will test this halfway point. If I was going to buy this, this is where I would buy it, because then my risk to rewards increased, because from here to the 200 is less than from here to here. And this is a bit of bad price action here with the rejection of the -1 ATR channel. You know, a lot of times on these when I'm torn, I'll just buy a half a position where it's at, and I'll buy the other half if it comes back and test that halfway. But me personally, right this second, I feel like it's a little chasey. So that's just my honest opinion there, Tim. Okay. All right, so the Dow's up 136. The NASDAQ has come off. It's only up 182 now, and the S&P is up 31. So the market has pulled back since we've started the podcast. Is it our fault? I hope not. All right, so real quick, current positions before I look at new positions. Quantum up 5.59% today. One profit target. This trade's doing great. I don't have to do anything with it. SPY. Little overnight SPY trade profit, which is good. I'll be buying this at the close. Square, I will be exiting Square today because it looks like the 10 is crossing under the 50 EMA. I will take that off today and just lock in the loss on Square. TMO is doing very, very well for Lilia and I, up 2.23% today. No change here. Etsy for Steve, Tracy, Carlos, Frank, Gary, and myself up 2.27% with the 1050 SMA crossover. I don't see any change that needs to be made here either. And so that all looks good. That all looks good. So let's go down to potentials. Take a look here. There's a lot of them. Earlier in the day, we did have another 520 EMA crossover. That is a valid signal on the Qs. Currently, the 5 is at 316.56. The 20 is at 316.94. So the 5 is still under the 20, so that would not be a valid crossover. The 5 would have to be at least equal to the 20 or any price above the 20. So right now, I cannot take the Qs. Monster Energy. Okay, Steve mentioned this earlier. We do have a 520 cross on Monster Energy. That is a good back-tested result. If I look at the price action of the day, I don't like that it rejected the 50-day moving average, but from a technical standpoint, you don't really have to factor that into a crossover. It's just the fact that it did cross over. I like where it crossed over in the value zone. You know, pros and cons. Pros, I'm getting a better price on it. Cons, there were a lot of sellers up here in this area. So it's okay. It's okay. I'll put that as a potential. Match has a 520 crossover. You know, if you look at this from a macroeconomic standpoint, okay, more people are going to, you know, since the health situation is starting to look better, probably more people are going to go on dates. Probably more people are going to get on Match.com to find their significant other and soulmate. I do kind of like Match here. I like the 520 crossover. It does backtest well. I like the MACD crossover at the same time. This is a confluence of signals. MACD crossing over, showing positive momentum. 520 crossover in the value zone. I quite like that. Over on the weekly, it's in the value zone. That all looks pretty good. So right now, my two favorites are Monster and Match. Space, which is Virgin Galactic. It's kind of an interesting trade. Friday, we had a V1 rejection of the -1 ATR channel, false breakouts at the downside. And now MACD is positive. It's down today, so this is a little counterintuitive. It is down, but it is holding the 100-day moving average, and it's holding the halfway of the washout bar. So, you know, there's some plus and minuses here. Plus, the risk to reward is really good. It's holding support of where it should hold had I bought it on Friday. But it is down today, so relative strength wise, it's not too bad. I mean, it's not too good. We're in the value zone on the weekly. This is a tough one, but you know, it's kind of a different type of trade than I would normally take, but I am going to put that as a potential. Amazon, I do like the possibility of shorting Amazon here with the rejection of the 200. Because we pulled away from the 200, we've rallied all the way back, 2 days rally. It's excellent risk to reward, so that is definitely on my potential list today as well. The short, PLMR, I don't see anything there. It's under 30 RSI. Disney had a V2, not a lot of sideways motion. It was a false breakout from this downside here. It did gap. It is holding the 50 RSI. A lot of sellers come in here, so I think I'm going to pass on Disney as well. Lulu, Lily pointed this out. Lulu does backtest well with the 520 crossover, but right at the moment, the 520 crossover has not happened. So I would not be interested in Lulu unless the 520 crossover happens. Microsoft, 520 crossover, cross under now. It is under. Before it was over. It was a little chasey to begin with, though. Me personally, I think I would have rather traded the Qs. VIX, well, this doesn't look too bullish, does it? But we are getting down to some levels. Got as low as 31.93. We're looking for a confluence. I'm looking for a confluence of the -3rd ATR channel and the 30 RSI. That would provide a really good risk to reward entry. I'm not going to buy it today. I'm going to give it one more day, see if we can go under the -3rd, over the -3rd, under the 30, over the 30. And I would take the trade on VIX at that point, but not yet today. BRKB, this is an excellent example of a pullback to value. We're above the value zone. We come into the value zone. We have sideways motion. Now we've broke to the downside, but we still held these lows on a closing basis. If we would have had a V2 here today, I would have taken that for sure, because we would have had a false breakout to the downside, sideways motion, and a V2, but it has not happened, so I'm going to have to pass on that. So, Monster. All right. Well, it has had issues up in this area of going any higher than that, and it is still an issue, so I think I'm going to pass on Monster. I like Match with the 520 crossover and the MACD crossover as well. SPCE, probably pass on that one. I guess I'll probably, MACD's positive too. Boy, that's a tough one. That's a tough one. Amazon, I do like the short of the 200 as long as it closes under the 200. I do not know if it's going to do that, however, so I'm going to have to wait there. But all in all, I would say, for me at least, I like Match the best with the 520 crossover in the value zone, MACD crossing over. SPC, I'll probably just let that one go. It's a little bit of a advanced trade. I think I'll just let that one go. I think I'm going to let Monster go because of the rejection of the 50. Qs, I don't think we don't have the crossover right now, at least. So my two trades today are going to be Match with the 520 crossover and Amazon short with the rejection of the 200-day moving average and a good risk to reward ratio. So that's what I'm doing. Just give me 1 second here. Okay. Dan says, new trader Steve, have you read Lowell Miller's book Momentum Gap Method? The book was written in the 1970s and not available. Would be a great infographic you sometimes do on Twitter. Oh, that sounds interesting, Dan. That sounds interesting. I personally have never heard of that. I don't know if Steve has. So Match and Amazon is what I need to put on up here. And then Amazon over here like that. All right, I am out of my trades on Square with the 1050 EMA crossover, so I just locked in profits on that. And so that one's done, off the board. QS hanging in there, SPY. Of course, I'm buying that at the close. TMO, great day, and Etsy, great day. So great day all around. Very, very happy for that. Happy for that decent little trade on Apple this morning. I've been a little lazy lately with my day trades. I don't know if you've noticed. Okay. Steve says, I have not read that one. Sounds great. Lova says, if you had a bad Tesla day trade, would you hold it until tomorrow? No, I would not, Lova. It's the complete opposite. If I had a good trade on Tesla and I was in the money, I might consider carrying it over with a strong close, maybe selling it on the open, but absolutely not. If I had a bad Tesla day trade, I would for sure get out. I mean, I don't want to tell you what to do, but you know, you're just asking me. If I had a bad day trade, I would 100% get out. More than likely, bad day trades, more times than not, get worse. Just my honest opinion. Dan says one of the O'Neill disciples gave a tease about the book. He owns it. Sounds like a weekly gap up strategy for long-term trends. Does it have to do with the low of the gap up day holding for 3 days? That is one of the strategies on gap ups. So you gap up, and then in the future, if the next 3 days do not close below the low of that gap up day, I have seen some back testing that works. I don't know if that's a similar approach, but kind of rings a bell to me. All right, so we have 7 minutes to go. Let me take a look here. So I haven't had a short in a minute. Oh, I guess I should have shorted earlier on Amazon, huh? So again, everybody, I am buying match MTCH with the 520 crossover, and I am shorting Amazon with the rejection of the 200-day after 2 big days up. Some conflicting signals here, but I have a good risk to reward ratio. So that is why I am going to short it. Okay, we got 6 minutes to go. Let's see, Amazon and match. All right, Amazon. Amazon match. All right, 4 minutes to go. Amazon and match. All right. Okay. And then over here. All right, done and done. Oh, wait a minute. Oh, that's right. Oh, geez. Well, that was a mistake. Okay. Happy mistake, anyway. All right. I bought too many shares of Match. I was looking at the wrong symbol. Keep that in mind, everybody. Make sure you're buying the right amount of shares for the stock that you're looking at. All right, we have about 30 seconds on my end anyway. All right, that is the end of the trading day. So let me see where I got filled here. All right, so SPY. Okay, so I went short Amazon. Oh, how are we going to do this? I think everybody is... Well, okay, I'm going to do it this way because Gary said he's getting out. I got long on Amazon, a short Amazon, excuse me, at 3110. Right there. Match, I went long at 155.21 with the 520 crossover. I bought 3 times as many shares as I was supposed to. I fixed it. I got rid of them. And so that was good, but not happy with myself that I didn't pay enough attention to that. So I'm long there with the 520 crossover. And I'm long SPY at 392.59. All right, well, listen, great day today. Very happy with that. Always grateful when there's some green on the screen. And for those of you who do not have a green day, it's okay. Hopefully you made correct trades. Not every single trade goes our way, right? So, okay, Amazon short, QS held, nice day today, up 8.34%. SPY had a little overnighter gapper. TMO, great, one profit target, keeping. Etsy up 2.2%, and then the new long position of Match. So listen, if you have any new signals for me today, any new entries or exits for me, please go ahead, put them in the chat now, and I will get them updated. And just real quick before I do, I just want to remind everybody that I do teach private one-on-one lessons in the evening time via Skype. I love to teach. I've had really good results with my students. I think I teach an excellent course. It's 5 sessions. Each session is 3 hours. It's a total of 15 hours. It does cost $1,750, but I think it's worth every penny based upon, everything I'm going to teach you, the one-on-one personal attention that you get in the course. And I know if you take the course, you are going to be a better trader. I've had some excellent students lately, really good. I taught yesterday, as a matter of fact, to a student of mine overseas, and wow, just super sharp. Really, really sharp. So, if you are interested in taking this course, let me know. I teach you all 5 of the trading approaches that I use step by step. You're not going to have to wonder if you're doing it right. You will know exactly what to do, how to position size, emergency stops, end of day stops, profit targets, overhead resistances, trailing stops, all that kind of stuff. I'm going to take you through each approach, and depending on what the market's doing, there's always an approach there that you can use. So if you'd like to take the course, send me an email. Email's in the description of this video. You can also send me a message on Twitter, and if you do, just say, Greg, I'm interested in your mentoring course or your stock trading course, and I will reply and say, thanks for saying hi. Can we set up a Skype call? Skype call's free. I just want to learn more about you and your trading and what you're trying to achieve from the course, what your goals are, what your challenges are. And then it's a good time for you to ask me questions, specific questions about the course. And then when you're done, you can think it over. No pressure, and in the future, if you want to take the course, you can just write me back and we'll get it scheduled. And then secondly, I do have a new course, online course, first one I've ever made, but I've had really good reviews and really good feedback from it. It's on udemy.com. It's the Deep Dip Buy Stock Trading Strategy. It's 9.5 hours, 26 videos, 15 study guides. And like I said, I have had really good feedback on that course, and it's one of my favorite approaches. And the cost on Udemy is like $12, $13, $14, $15, somewhere in there. So, for that amount of money, what you get is a super sweet deal, I promise you. So if you're interested in that, the link is in the description of this video. And then lastly, if you like today's podcast, I really would appreciate it if you could take the time to just click the little like button down there before you head on out. Get boogieing with your day. It really does help the channel a lot. It helps to let YouTube know that there's some valuable content here so that they share it more, so that we keep the channel around and that we grow the channel. All right, so okay, that's all of my business stuff there. Thank you as always for hanging through that with me. Let's take a look here. Okay. Hey, Trollmaster. Good to see you. Trollmaster Fictionist Fables of Europa. Nice. SPCB 200% short interest. Oh, that's worth looking at. SPCB. Oh my. Oh. Yeah. Well, I still wouldn't touch it here. I wouldn't short it, and I wouldn't buy it. I would wait to buy down here at about $1.35, at least back in the value zone. This got sold into like crazy up there. But thanks for letting us know about that, Trollmaster. Steve says, I'm long Monster. Okay, so Steve is long Monster Energy at 88.95. Based upon the 520 crossover, right, Steve? Yep. So Steve, 520 EMA crossover. I always do that. All right. Good luck with that, Steve. Hope that goes up for you. Totally valid signal. 520 crossover right in the value zone. I like that even better. Frank says, I did buy a half a position a match. Okay. As for SQ, I was stopped out of it on March 16th. Oh, on Square. Yeah. Oh, okay. Yeah, I'm out of Square as well. So that maybe leaves Gary. I'm not sure. Gary says, I just bought 10 puts on Amazon, 31 strike. Okay, so let's do this then. by accident. Meant to buy one. Just sold 5 at the bell for $500 profit. Need to pay more attention. I did the same thing. Okay, so really you sold 5. So you have 5 left? I think that's what you're saying. You had 10, you sold 5 for you had 10, you sold 5 for $500 profit. So I'm not real good at math, but I think 10 minus 5 is 5. So it looks like Gary and I are both short. Would you buy the 3110s? Oh, so at the monies. Okay, so Gary and I are both short. So I'm getting Gary out of his quarter position. I don't know about Dave. Dave's out there. He can let me know. But nice happy accident for 500. Hey, don't you owe me 500? This is perfect timing, Gary. This is perfect. Gary M says negative short Amazon. Is that what that means? Is that with stock, Gary, or are these with the puts that you bought on Amazon? Kamal has no trades. Okay, Steve, where does this say? Oh, I exited Monster. Okay, he exited this one with a 520 crossover. All right, so I got you out of there, Steve. Frank says, awesome, Gary. Lucky, he says. Dan says, Sensei. If you ever look at your reviews on Udemy, look for my review. I think I did, Dan. I think I did. Let's see. Because I remember thinking, hey, I think that's Dan the man right there. And I appreciate that. And if any of you have taken this course, I really would appreciate if you could hit the thumbs up button. if you could do a review, I would really, really appreciate that. That really helps, you know. Let's see, Graham, Raymond, Sonny. Oh, Sonny took it. Roman, Guermore, Morgan, Michael. I don't see it, Dan. I don't see it. Is it just under Dan? Gary says, Dan, like the Sensei. Oh, I've been watching Cobra Kai, so I hear Sensei a lot. Frank says, a dear friend and former stock analyst gifted me the book, The Man Who Solved the Markets, How Gene Simons Launched the Quant Revolution by Gregory Zuckerman. Great read. Yeah, I have read that. You know what, Frank? I don't know if you know this, but Steve and Christopher Uhl and myself did a podcast on that book. It's in my podcast section on the on my YouTube channel in the podcast playlist. Yeah, Steve Burns, Christopher Uhl, and myself, we did a roundtable specifically talking about the book, that particular book that all three of us read. But yeah, it was excellent, wasn't it? Man, they've got some smart people over there. Lilia, hi Lilia. Hi Greg. I'm still in TMO and QS and also Etsy. No new trades today, thanks. Well, those were the three to be in, right? TMO was up 2.17%. QS, Superhero, up 8.34%, and Etsy, up 2.02%. Excellent trades, Lil. Glad to see that you are having some good trades there. Proud of you, my friend. Frank says, hey, Gary, I just got a car repair bill for $500. The number must be in the air. I know. He owes me the $500 first, though. But, Frank, do I owe you $500? This might work out great. He can pay me. I'll pay you. You pay your car bill. Everybody's good. Gary says, out of the stock and long 5 puts. Okay, I'm glad you give $500 if I owe it to you. Can I pay you on Tuesday for a hamburger day? Absolutely. No, you don't owe me $500 at all. Way to go. Happy accidents are the best. It was the same with Match. I bought way too many shares because I was looking at something that looked like Match on my position size. I bought like 3 times too many shares, and I did sell earlier, and it was up a little, so happy accident there too. Daniel, maybe should be Daniel's son. Oh, you just did it last night. Yeah, it takes like 48 hours for those reviews to show up, Dan. But thank you, man. I appreciate that, Daniel son. I really, really appreciate that. That's very kind of you. And if you have any questions, when you're taking that course, you just please let me know, okay? Everyone should take that course. For $12, you should take that course. You're going to learn so many things. And, that course is so important because it builds the foundation of all the other strategies that I use as far as position sizing, emergency stops, profit targets. I mean, I know you hear me talk about it every day, but I also know that a lot of you don't know exactly what I'm talking about. And I know this because I have students that watch this live stream. And then when they become one-on-one students, when they tell me what they think I'm doing, I'm like, nope, it's not that. And let me show you why. Right? So for $13 or whatever on Udemy, you can really learn it the right way. You have it forever. It's 9.5 hours. You can just, watch it over and over. I think you're going to get something out of it every single time. All right, what's happening after hours here? Apple is unchanged. Amazon is unchanged. The Dow up 24 cents. Etsy unchanged. Match unchanged. QS down 28 cents. SPY up a quarter. Bonds down. We're going to have to watch bonds. I really do think you're going to see the NASDAQ follow bonds. If bonds continue up, probably the rally will continue. If they go down, I'll bet you the market goes down as well, at least the NASDAQs, the growth stocks. Gary says, have a great day, everyone. Thank you, Greg. Enjoy your hike. Thank you, Gary. I certainly will. Kamal says, thank you, Greg. Have a great day. Thank you. Kamal Dan says, definitely brings new light and usefulness to the live stream. Yeah, I would imagine. It would, because it's very detailed, and then when I'm talking about something, you really kind of know what I'm talking about. All right, so let's do this. If we all do one random act of kindness daily, we just might set the world in the right direction. This is from Martin Cordfield. I think this is a great saying. I think we should all internalize this and try to practice this every day. Let's just go out and do one random act of kindness daily. If it was up to me, one random act of kindness daily for a human, one random act of kindness daily for an animal. It's going to make the human feel good. It's going to make the animal feel good. That should make you feel good. All three of you will feel good. And that would just improve the world if everybody could do that. So why don't we do this? Why don't we try that? And maybe we'll just start it with this little podcast here. You know what I'm saying? Okay. Well, I am teaching tonight, so if Carlos is out there, I am looking forward to that. Carlos, we're going to talk about higher low V1s, one of my absolute favorite approaches. So we'll have some hot higher low V1 talk tonight. So again, I am short the mighty Amazon with the rejection of the 200. That's my new trade today on the short side. Match 520 crossover to the upside. So really good, nice, positive day. And so it's been a good couple days in a row. Lova says, I broke one rule today. Then I watched my inaction break a bunch more. Ugh, sorry, buddy. Yep, it all kind of starts. You know, if you break one rule, then it's easy to break a bunch of other rules, isn't it? When I was a professional athlete, some days on my run back home up a huge hill, I'd be like, okay, today I'm just gonna stop here. I'm exhausted. And then I'm like, no, if I stop here, then I'm gonna be tempted to do it tomorrow. So you know, have a professional mindset, Leva. If you want to be a professional trader, you have to act like one. And professional traders sometimes mistakenly break rules, like Gary and myself today, but that was a mistake, right? But get into the habit of never breaking a rule. The more you do it, the more it's going to become a habit. So you have to have strict rules that you follow, which become habits, bud. Frank says, such a great message to end on. Thank you, Frank. I think so, right? I mean, it's not like I have a Super Bowl platform, but I have a little platform, and why not share a good message, right? Leva says, luckily, I have a lot of positive positions. Good, to counter the bad stuff today. I just hate that I did the bad stuff to myself. I know. Forgive yourself, bud. It happens. It happens. Just forgive yourself. Be aware of what happened. You acknowledge what happened. You know, you typed it in the chat. We all understand that you're not happy that you did it. And let's just be good to yourself, Leva. Just be good to yourself from here on out. And if you can, keep me updated on, those things in work, 962 days between accidents. Why don't you, let's keep a running total for that, right? Hopefully pretty soon I'm going to see 74 days without a trading mistake, something like that. What do you think? Deal? All right. Well, I have a busy rest of my day, so I'm going to get out of here. Thank you all for coming today. I appreciate it. Hope you have a good day. Go out, be kind to an animal, to a human, be kind to yourself, drive safe, be good, be nice. If your garbage day is Tuesday, you have to take out your garbage tonight. Mine's on Wednesday, so somebody please remind me tomorrow. All right. But thanks again for coming. Thanks, Frank, for your poem. Thanks, Steve, for coming and hanging out with us. Appreciate that and everything you do for the channel. And Kamal, thank you, bud, for the results of your scanner. I know we all appreciate that. So have a good rest of your day, and hopefully we'll see you tomorrow. And if you haven't hit the thumbs up button, I would really appreciate that too. All right. Thanks again, everyone. Talk to you soon. Bye. U.S. government required disclaimer. Stock, options, futures, and forex trading is not appropriate for everyone. While there is a potential for large rewards, there is also a substantial risk of loss associated with trading. The material in this video or live broadcast is not geared towards any particular individual or to any particular financial situation and is not intended to meet the particular investment objectives of any viewer. This video or live broadcast, like all instructional materials produced by Gossett Trading and Mentoring LLC, is created and published for informational and educational purposes only. Any and all information contained in, implied, or referenced by this video or live broadcast is not to be construed as investment advice, and no representation is made that any individual or entity involved in production of this video or live broadcast is an investment or financial advisor or is registered or authorized to give any financial advice. We are publishers and educators only. Therefore, the various producers of this video or live broadcast will not accept liability for any loss or damage of any kind which may arise either directly or indirectly out of the use of any of this material, including any loss of profit. No representation is made that any account or investment will or is likely to achieve the profit or losses demonstrated. We recommend consultation with a licensed and qualified professional before making any investment decision. This video or live broadcast is not to be construed as an offer to buy or sell any security, financial instrument, or financial product of any kind. Notice is hereby given that any individual or entity involved in production of this video or live broadcast or their clients may have an interest in any security, financial instrument, or financial product mentioned or referenced. Any simulated or hypothetical performance result depicted does not represent actual trading and therefore may under or overcompensate for the impact of various market factors such as lack of liquidity. Thank you.